Live from the THV11 studio, it's slightly cooler than this time last week. Thank you for trusting us tonight. I'm Faith Wooder.
And I'm Rolly Hoyt, Chief Meteorologist Tom Brannon. You wouldn't happen to have a pool out there in the weather garden or anything like that, or over in your pool pond?
Pond would be good for you. Yeah. There you go. We do, and I was just out there a moment ago, but the sun is playing some tricks with our camera, so I came inside. It's beautiful out there, though. Given that this time of year, there's a lot of humidity outside, drier conditions behind a frontal boundary, and temperatures aren't too terribly bad. 87 currently downtown, 85 Harrison, 96 though in Texarkana, and there are a few scattered storms in southern Arkansas that I'll get to here in just a few moments. Now, with the air mass drying out a bit, the heat index values are not nearly as bad as they could be. Here's what they look like. Feels like 92 here, but still south of that front, it feels like 104 in Texarkana. Feels like 98 Monticello, but notice in Harrison it only feels like 87 degrees there. I mentioned a few spotty storms, and here they are. Washita County, Bradley, Calhoun, even around Ashley, Chico counties. That's what we have currently going on, and here's the way your hour by hour shapes up for the night tonight. Dry conditions, temperatures dropping into the lower 70s with lower humidity. I've got your Independence Day forecast on the way here in just a few minutes.
Tom, thank you. Rising concerns from our state's farmers as free trade economists say tariffs threaten to drive up their costs.
Our Maya Ellison takes us inside a packed town hall where concerns over trade policies took center stage.
It's supposed to be take the place of the tariffs.
A packed room Tuesday morning at Jenkins Enterprises in North Little Rock, where the focus was something many Arkansans feel, but few fully understand: tariffs.
This was an opportunity for Arkansas businesses to talk about how they're being impacted by tariffs and the trade war.
The Tariff Town Hall, hosted by Farmers for Free Trade, gave business owners, farmers, and local leaders a chance to ask questions and hear just how these taxes are impacting the natural state.
Well-paid jobs that are being threatened by tariffs because businesses can't depend on how much their product is going to cost, and we're seeing costs go up for consumers.
Executive Director of Farmers for Free Trade Brian Keel says the data is alarming.
And what we're seeing is a record tax increase on the American consumers. Things are getting more expensive and inflation is increasing because of these tariffs.
In a recent study conducted by Farmers for Free Trade, Arkansas importers paid $44 million in April. That's a 155% increase from last year, meaning Arkansas businesses will pay much more.
So an item that cost me $10 that I might sell for $20 now costs me $24.50, which means I'm going to have to sell that for $45, $49.95. Now, the market won't support that kind of price. And so as a result, people will not buy that item.
And it's not just businesses. Farmers are feeling the pressure too.
Arkansas farmers really are getting squeezed by tariffs. And unfortunately, I think a lot of them are going to drop out of farming. We'll see farm bankruptcies increase. We'll see small farmers get hurt. We'll see more consolidation.
Those changes are already being felt.
Farmers are going to be the targets for retaliation. Because the United States is such a big food producer, exporter, we're an attractive target for other countries who want to lash back at the U.S.
And with new tariffs still on the table, the uncertainty has many worried about what's next.
And we need balance and we need certainty. And if we don't have balance and certainty, we're not going to have a strong economy.
In North Little Rock, Maya Ellison, THV11 News.
Maya, thank you. The top national story today, the passage in the U.S. Senate of President Donald Trump's spending proposal, the One Big Beautiful Bill. It sent it back now to the House of Representatives for final review. Arkansas Senator John Bozeman voted with all but 3 Republicans to get it passed, and in a statement sent to us, Bozeman insists the proposal delivers massive tax cuts while, quote, making our nation stronger, safer, and more prosperous, end quote.
Governor Sanders' request to remove a 10-year provision in the president's budget bill that would have prevented state regulation on artificial intelligence has been accepted. The governor has long supported state development of AI. She recently joined several other states to request that piece of the spending bill be etched out. Those concerns were put in a letter and sent to House Speaker Mike Johnson. After successfully getting the provision removed, Governor Sanders said in a statement, quote, "We will now be able to protect our kids from the harms of completely unregulated AI," end quote. We'll have extensive details on the budget proposal later tonight at 6:30. Backlogs in Arkansas courts have a family grieving and still wanting and waiting for justice.
THV11's Rebecca Brown catches up with the family of Victor Montgomery, the Pulaski County School security guard allegedly killed by a driver 2 years ago. The criminal trial has been delayed again.
And when you found a true love and somebody take that, just yank it from you, it leaves a hole in your heart.
Victor Montgomery was hit and killed in August of 2023 while directing traffic at Joe T. Robinson on the first day of school. Nearly 2 years later, his family is still waiting for closure on his case.
And we're not questioning his guilt or innocence. It's just too many theatrics, I think. It is. And every time it's a delay, he continues to get to go home to his family.
Montgomery's niece, Kenesha, says the family was ready for court, then another delay. That delay prolonging the pain.
It felt like I was preparing for a funeral, that, you know, you're going through so much emotions that it was like somebody stuck a knife in my heart.
Victor's wife, Alice, says that pain is constant during holidays, milestones, or just a quiet night alone.
We got a king-size bed. I'm on the edge because that's where I feel comfortable. That's where I feel like I'm close to him.
I spoke with prosecuting attorney Will Jones in the 6th Judicial District. He says they are facing serious backlogs. In a statement, Jones says, in part, quote, "We understand what the families are going through. We are limited by access to the courts, but we have hard workers around the clock making sure justice is served."
While he has rights, at some point, you're sending families to have to keep reliving it.
The man accused did bond out just hours after his arrest and has remained free since. But to Victor's family, it's not about putting him away, it's ending this painful cycle.
I release him so I can go forward and to spend the rest of my days with peace. But just give me some closure so I can. That's all I ask.
Rebecca Brown, THV 11 News.
Rebecca, thank you. And about those backlogs, according to the prosecutor's office, there are around 250 homicide cases pending right now, with just 5 judges available to hear them.
THV 11 has learned that the Dunar Magnet Middle School is being considered for historic status due to its role in Arkansas civil rights. A federal grant is being used to gain recognition for Dunbar's link to Little Rock. It's part of a larger effort happening to preserve significant sites across the capital city. Once known as the Negro School of Industrial Arts, Dunbar has served African Americans since the early 1900s. The Dunbar Historic Neighborhood Association has been active trying to preserve the building and gain recognition. A review meeting by the city's Historic Commission is set for Monday.
Well, coming up in the next few days, well, today we had a front. Tomorrow we'll feel the effects and the benefits of that front with some drier air and cooler temperatures. That'll extend to Thursday, but it gets hot again as we head into your weekend. I'll have the complete weekend forecast after a break.
And Americans are going to line up the sky as we go into the 4th of July celebrations.
We'll explain how fireworks could be sensitive for our veterans and ways to cope.